Turn to Armaments Chapter 2, verses 9 to 21, as today's sermon is on Min the Dragonmonk on Optimal Play. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Jordan.
And we're talking about Guards of Atlantis, our hero card-by-card discussions.
That's right. And we're into the 2-star characters now.
We are.
This is our second, Min the Dragonmonk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've played a lot of Min, Brandon.
I have. I think at this time, at this juncture, I consider Min my favorite character.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I like Min a lot, too. I've played a few games with Min. He's great. Super fun character to play as. What do you like about him so much?
And, well, I mean, for one thing, let's see. I don't usually in these videos use the top-down view. Oh, it's not working. Well, that's great content. Okay. Well, I was gonna say his meters are full. Look, he can do everything.
That's a good point. Wow, his meters are full.
He's got. Let's just ignore that four of them are these pesky white blocks, but full attack, full initiative, full defense.
5 of the defense being the pesky
yeah,
white
it's
blocks.
fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And pretty damn good movement. So
Yeah,
it's
sure.
like what's not to love? And he's also like the king of the tokens. I don't think anyone else has more tokens in raw quantity or in variety.
I was thinking about that, and I think you're right.
Yeah. Tolly has 2 tokens that she has 3 of each, but they're double-sided tokens, so they don't count.
Right. I think Nebker has a number of mummies, but I'm not sure how many.
Yeah.
Mortimer has zombies.
Let's not fact check this. Let's just go with it. Yeah.
I think it's right. Okay. Do we want to read his little sermon here?
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead?
All right, sure. The monks of the Order of the Dragon once worshipped the ancient beasts, but with their patrons gone, Min and his brothers had to adopt more practical applications of their beliefs.
That actually could have been a line from a sermon. It's pretty matter of fact.
Yeah, although, the result is we need to do something more practical. Let's start making some bombs. Because that's what Min's mostly about. He's got a few varieties of bombs and mines and explosives.
Grenades, smoke bombs, and mines.
There
So
you
that's
go.
him. Yeah. And I guess, more practical applications of their beliefs. I guess that's what it's getting at. Because I've never actually slowed down to think, why does the monk... And let's not to gloss over the fact that he's not a monk, he's a dragon monk.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Right, I have no idea what... The dragon connection's a little bit loose.
But even so, the monk being the person with the, belt of grenades is kind of an odd fit.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it's like, in the Order of the Dragon, they worshipped, fire and explosive, power or something. And now they've had to turn that into something more practical, aka bombs.
We have probably just put more thought into this lore than anyone ever has.
Except for the makers. I'm sure they've thought at least... We spent 1 minute. I mean, they spent a minute.
But I'm pretty sure that the second printing rulebook does have some lore in it, and it's preceded by a couple sentences saying, you nerds demanded some lore for this game, so fine, here you go. It's
funny.
I'm paraphrasing, but it's not that far off of that.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
It's a little bit begrudgingly, I think, even that, already... That's lore to the game.
Fair enough.
It's not a game about its lore.
Right. It doesn't matter. Dragonmonk sounds cool, and therefore it is cool.
But, if you made a coffee table book full of art from the game, maybe some extra art, and short stories about the characters, I'd buy it. I don't know if I'd read it. I'd buy it.
I'd buy it. Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, there's this, this is kind of a digression, but there's this company called Lost in Cult that makes coffee table books for video games. And it's all about the development and has new, fresh art and all the story and they're really deluxe, really cool products. And I've thought about buying a few of those. I haven't yet.
I'm not aware of these.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'll have to check them out.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about buying some too.
There you go. Yeah.
So we are going to talk card by card through Min the Dragonmonk's abilities and share some of our strategies and experiences along the way. But first, hit the like button below the video. Subscribe, maybe even comment while you're down there. That would be good. Thanks.
Yeah. Tell us how you'd upgrade Min. Through the different choices.
Oh, through the choices.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Okay. You looked at me like that was crazy. I don't know. Which red would you take? I don't know. It's fun.
It's perfectly good. It's perfectly good YouTube comment prompt. Let's go with that.
There you go.
All right, let's get off of that and onto his gold card. Well, I guess we didn't talk too much about his traits.
Right.
Which are, he's a disabler, a damager, and melee. To be honest, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what disabler is meant to... Is it canceling other people's abilities?
Let's think about that as we go through. I'm not sure either.
I mean, his smoke bomb does block kind of line of sight for attacks. Is that what it's Yeah, we'll keep that in mind. See what it's getting at. I feel like Damager and Melee are more straightforward.
Sure.
So anyway, his gold is Fast as Lightning. It's a ranged basic attack. It has just 1 defense and 1 boot and 2 attack. Man, yeah, we talk in real life. We just talked about Bane minutes ago,
Right?
And he has 2 range and 4 attack.
And he gets the bounty token.
And he gets what the hell? Oh no, never mind. I'm thinking of his red is more range. His yellow has radius and his melee,
Right.
but it's 4 attack,
Right.
And this is 1 range.
The
so...
range can be upgraded, but I'm with you.
But what this says is pretty interesting and is going to be meaningless right now. It says target unit in range. After the attack, apply the after the attack text on your resolved or discarded red card. Which I actually adore, even though with this being the only card we've talked about, we don't really have the context to discuss much detail about what you can do with this. I love that his gold card changes based on how you build him in a way that most characters don't have a similar element to.
Yeah, that's true. The only other character I can think of that has that is Gideon the Wizard, who his reds sort of. Anyway.
We'll get there someday.
Yeah.
Just 20 more characters,
between
between now and the 4 stars.
Yeah, that's right. Great.
Hey, there are no rules saying that we have to go in star order just because we have been so far. You want to talk about Gideon next? We can talk about Gideon next. I'd recommend you play him.
We have to play him first. Yeah. All right. So that's a cool card. Yeah, it's exciting. We'll I think as we go through the different red options, we'll cover what that means. If you want, actually, we can go to the next.
Why don't we look at his starting red card?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. So Crane Stance has 5 defense, 5 boots, so that would be why his movement meter is pretty high. Just 3 attack, and it says target unit adjacent to you. After the attack, push an enemy unit adjacent to you up to 3 spaces. And so, yeah, this is, as a 3 damage melee attack, pretty weak as far as red cards go. It does have a lot of boots and decent defense on it. But what's cool is that you can play this or use it for defense early in the round, and then your gold ability also gains this. And I can tell you from experience, although you would be at a higher level red by the time you reach this, but if you upgrade your range so that your goal is 2 range with a push, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's you don't usually push at range very often. It feels really good.
Nice. That's very cool.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a pretty.
And getting off
pretty...
two pushes in a single turn, right? By either playing your red. If you play your red as an attack first and then play your gold, you get to do it twice.
Yeah, in a single round.
A single round.
Yep. I just love that the gold changes with your build, and then that you can plan a whole round around trying to do something like this twice. It's very cool.
Or you can use your red for boots because it is probably your best boot card. And then
it's
still get its effect on your gold card.
Yeah, good point too.
Or even use it for its defense, and you can still get it.
Right. Yeah, because it can even be discarded, or it doesn't. You don't even have to use it as a defense action. It could just be you got a force to discard. You lost Bane's guessing game.
Right. Sure.
Throw your red down, and suddenly the gold that you've queued up. Initiative. This doesn't work, but anyway, so
sure.
It turns on your gold that way too.
Right.
All right. Want to tell us about his silver?
Yep, his silver is Smoke Bomb. Place the Smoke Bomb token, which is one of his many tokens, in radius. His radius is 3 on this. I should say this is a 12 initiative, 1 defense, 3 radius basic skill. Enemy heroes cannot target you or another unit if the Smoke Bomb is on a straight line between that enemy hero and their target. So notably, it does not block friendly heroes' effects.
Right.
They can see through the smoke somehow.
Yeah, it does block friendly heroes' movement, like all tokens do, but...
Right.
So that's something you have to be careful about. Don't throw this into a choke point between minions that your teammate wants to walk through.
Sure.
I've definitely been there, made that mistake.
That's fair. It is a cool... I mean, his Smoke Bomb is probably his most useful token, I think.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other cards key off it.
And it's the only one of his mini tokens that is on one of his base cards.
Right.
So he has access to for turn 1 of the game and also the whole game.
Doesn't his starting blue have these mines on it?
Does it? Maybe it does. I think it does. You're right. I just always use it for boots. I don't think that his level 1 blue is very good.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that must be why I forgot that.
But it is the only one that you will definitely have access to throughout the game, because the other ones, as you upgrade, you might change what you have access to.
Right. And then its effect is a little niche. Like, it can be a nice counter to someone's ranged attack if they happen to be on a straight line. So if they're Bane, if they're on a straight line with you, then the smoke bomb can effectively prevent an attack. But we are going to see some other cards that interact with the smoke bomb in a way that add kind of more subtext to this as well.
Right. But if you're thinking about drafting, like if your opponent's taking someone like Bane or Cutter, who I think cares even more about being in a straight line with people, or like Arian sometimes cares about being in a straight line, with certain people behind his target, whatever. This could be really useful, and so it's an interesting drafting thing. Min is the anti-straight line character in certain ways.
The anti-straight line character. Yeah, you're right.
Right. Should we? I think you've got his blue, maybe, or his
green? Sure, don't. I have his green though.
Yeah,
Why
sure.
not? Okay. Speaking of the smoke bomb, his starting green card is Poof. It has 3 boots on it. Otherwise, it is a ranged defense card that says swap with a smoke bomb token in range if you do block the attack. So for this card to do anything as a defensive card, you need to stay within range of your smoke bomb. Something you always need to keep in mind.
Right.
But then it's kind of a double-edged sword. Swapping with the smoke bomb is very cool, but also sometimes you wish you didn't have to in order to use this card as a defense.
Sure.
But also the flavor of it is super cool. It's like, you thought I was here. No, I'm here in the smoke.
Right. Poof.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I will say that, this makes you want to put your smoke bomb sort of where you want to move next.
Yes.
And there's a few effects that all encourage that same sort of play, which is also interesting if you're playing against Min, because you can think, okay, that's where the Min player thinks they want to be next. Maybe that's some information that you can glean from that.
You're saying that the psychological effect of the smoke bomb should not be underestimated.
Never underestimate the psychological effect. All right, so his blue, if you're ready for it.
You ready for it?
Is Trip Mine, a 10 initiative, 4 defense, 2 boot card. It is a skill with 3 radius that says place 2 mine tokens. So mine tokens have the same back, but they have different fronts, I suppose. 1 blast and 1 dud. Face down in radius of 3. Units may move through them. Remove mine tokens after an enemy hero moves through them. And for every blast removed, that hero discards a card if able.
Yeah.
So these do a few things. One is, if you move through them, you might have to discard a card. 2 is there's a psychological effect because there's a dud token. But 3 is you can't stand in their space.
You can't end your move on them.
Right, exactly. So I think that third use is their most valuable one.
Yeah, and I love-hate this card because I actually don't like that aspect of the design.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that you should be able to move on and end on these tokens, and you risk blowing up a mine, right? So that should be the trade-off. I think that it is losing some of the fun of these tokens it loses some of the fun kind of in this mechanic of the shell game of which one's the mine, which one's the dud. That probably the best way to use it is to actually just think about where your opponents want to stand and make it so that they can't. Put them around a minion, not because you want them to have to risk stepping on a mine to attack that minion, but because then they can't attack that minion at all.
Right, exactly.
Which I think is it's unfortunate. It does make the card stronger that it works that way, but it's like unfortunate because that's not the power fantasy I want from these mines.
I think that's fair. I agree that it's not thematic and it is strange, but I've never seen one of these mines actually go off. I've only seen them used to block standing in certain places.
That's why I'm saying it's
yeah. I wonder how much that would change. I wonder if you could end on them, would you? I don't know.
I think probably quite a bit you would. And that's maybe I think it would become a pretty weak card without that. Because there are plenty of situations, especially towards the end of a round, when you can just see, okay, I'm not going to die. I don't have to worry about discarding one card. And it's discard a card if able, or you're out of cards entirely, and you would just be able to charge through them. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a paradox of, like, I love the shell game, the mind game of which one's the mine and which one's the dud, but then it's sort of undermined, see what I did there?
I do.
By the fact that they're just better used as an obstacle to movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a sad thing.
I will say that as owners of this game, we could play it the other way.
We can try it. Yeah.
I agree. I think it's going to make it too weak.
I think it would be more fun and way weaker.
All right. Well, that's the trip mine.
Okay. Well, let's...
Should we do his red upgrades? Because
you have those...
I think I have the straight lines and you have the zags.
That sounds right.
So his original red, if you want to pull it back out, was Crane Stance.
That was Crane Stance.
Tiger Stance is his level 2 upgrade on Crane Stance. It is a 9 initiative, 5 defense, 5 boots, so no upgrades there. 4 attack instead of 3, target a unit adjacent to you. After the attack, you may move 1 space to a space adjacent to the target, then push an enemy unit adjacent to you up to 3 spaces. So it gives you a little bit of maneuverability before you have to do the big push. Which is nice because you also don't have to push the target that you're attacking. So you can target a minion, then move to a space. Actually, no. You would not be able to move to a space adjacent to the target if you kill the minion.
Kill it. That's true.
So that's interesting. So you have to target a hero, but then you can move around the hero to push them in a direction other than the one you originally set to push them.
That's right. Yeah. And that is something that we missed or understated, at least on Crane's stance itself, is that it targets a unit and then pushes an enemy unit. It does not have to be your initial target.
Right.
So if you're already standing next to a minion and a hero, you can kill the minion, push the hero.
Right.
Or vice versa, I guess. Attack the hero and then push the minion. I don't know how often you would do that, but you could.
Right. Dragon Sense is the level 3 upgrade on this. It has an additional initiative at 10 and an additional shield at 6. Still 4 attack. Targeting adjacent to you. After the attack, you may move 1 or 2 spaces to a space adjacent to the target. So you can move further around it before doing your push.
And then don't forget that these all, if they're already either on your row or in your discard pile, this text all gets added to your gold card effectively.
Right. After the attack, move and push.
So you're dancing around potentially twice each round doing an attack, move, push, and then another attack, move, push. That's a lot of chaos.
It's pretty cool.
It's fun.
Yeah. And it is up to 3 spaces, which is nice. It gives you a little bit of added flexibility.
Right.
By the way, what items do these upgrades come with?
Both defense.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I think...
This feels like it's a minion kill route, right? Is that what you're going to say?
I would say so.
Because you can kill a minion and then push a hero to disrupt their position, and you have higher
And at the same time, you're taking defense items, so you are setting them back, trying to kill you while you're farming.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Totally agree. But it's a very flexible card. You can do a lot with it. The main thing about it that's not flexible is that it's, as far as an attack goes, it's simply a melee attack.
Right. And it's still relatively weak at only 4.
That's true. Yeah. All the way up to level 3, it's still just 4 attack.
Yep.
Well, alternatively, you could go for a Viper stance, which I don't know if I'd ever actually clocked that even the Zags, they're all stances. Viper stance says target a unit adjacent to you, and it has, by the way, it has 5 defense, 5 boots. That's similar to the others. 5 attack, though, and 4 radius. Target unit adjacent to you. After the attack, you may swap with a smoke bomb in radius.
Right. So another reason why you put the smoke bomb where you want to go next.
Yeah, so the starting green swaps with it on defense, but this swaps with it on attack. And again, this also adds a swap with your smoke bomb to your gold card if you sequence the cards in the right way.
Right.
So you can be, between these, you could swap with your smoke bomb upwards of 3 times in a round, which is just like, how often is that good? I don't know, but it is always fun.
Yeah.
To be like, I'm here. No, I'm here. No, I'm here. It's
I
great.
have had a good turn with this where I've set up my smoke bomb next to a minion and I was next to a minion. Got attacked by a hero, used my green card for defense, swapped to be next to the other minion, played a gold card and then a red card or something, and then swapped back to the first minion. I'm not sure exactly how it worked out. But I was able to swap back and kill both minions.
That was the other thought I had too, is that this adds yet another way to consider where you put your smoke bomb, which is next to a future minion you want to farm. Right. So you drop the smoke, you're near a minion, you drop a smoke bomb by a second minion, play your red, kill one minion, teleport over to the other one, and then play your gold to kill that one and teleport back if you want.
Right.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. And then
that comes with an initiative.
Okay. And then his Cobra stance is the upgrade to that, which says target a unit adjacent to you. After the attack, you may swap with a smoke bomb in radius. If you do, you may place the smoke bomb into a space in radius.
Which is really nice.
So now you're not just swapping back and forth between 2 kind of spaces that you've chosen, but you are swapping, you are jumping around the board.
Right. It's like you put the smoke bomb next to the minion you want to kill next, and then you kill a minion, swap to it, then you kill another minion, move your smoke bomb token, and now you're set for the next round.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
Yeah, it's super fun. I love it. I think that even
the
though
last one comes with a boot too.
That's right, which is a big deal. I was saying that I really like the push. I think it's cool, but this is the one that I really, really love. I just think that the fun factor on this is is very, very high.
I end up taking that upgrade too, just because it's so fun.
And then especially when you're taking your level 3 red card, that boot upgrade is just like
super nice.
No character is sad to take their movement upgrade. Everyone's got to move sometimes.
Right.
You've got the blue,
the straight line blues.
Yeah.
So we've got Cluster Mine and Minefield here. They are both 11 initiative. Cluster Mine has 4 defense, Minefield 5. They're both 2 boots and 3 radius. Effectively, Cluster Mine lets you place 3 mine tokens, 1 blast, and 2 duds. And Minefield lets you place 3 mine tokens, 2 blasts, and 1 dud. Yeah. I find that Minefield in particular, the 3rd level upgrade, is kind of garbage because, again, like these mines aren't triggering, so make it slightly more likely that a mine will trigger by making it 2/3 chance instead of 1/3 chance.
Yeah.
Is nothing. So I find I almost never take this 3 only because I feel like the value I'm getting by going from a 2 to a 3 is so worthless. So if I am going to take this, because I want the blue upgrade or whatever, blue item.
It's initiative, which I have actually taken largely because we were talking last time about our skill level and our general, like, seeing ties coming, considering what side the coin on and stuff are on, has gotten better. I have had exactly one time when I have realized how important it was for me to go before someone, and we were tying and the coin was on the wrong side, so I took an initiative item going into that round.
Yeah.
It was the most, not the flashiest play I've made in Guards of Atlantis, but one of the best, most satisfying moments I've had in the game.
That's great. Yeah, I love that.
And yeah, there's always that, I think it's one of the brilliant things about the game is there's that short versus long-term consideration of what upgrades you're making, where sometimes, text of the card be damned, you really need that +1 defense or initiative right now, and you know it because you are getting to be a better player, and it's very fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyways, I find these cards to be fairly lackluster. I think the Zags are more exciting.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I wish that the mines blew up more often and were less of just tokens that impede movement, because that would make upgrading to 2 of them being deadly a lot more fun.
Yeah, it's hard because I was thinking, like, could they make the punishment worse? Like, lose 2 cards, but that's too strong. Like, that's too much.
Right. I am surprised a little bit that it doesn't make the punishment discard a card or be defeated, which a lot of tier 3 cards do.
Right.
As they upgrade those types of effects, but it still doesn't.
Yeah.
If you're not big on those, you could zag over to the Death Grenade. It has 11 initiative, 4 defense, 2 boots. It's a 2 radius skill that says plays a grenade token. So enter the final token we haven't talked about.
Right.
Into a space in radius, and then end of turn, up to 1 enemy hero adjacent to that token discards a card or is defeated. Wow, or is defeated. They accidentally put it on this tier 2 card instead of that tier 3 card.
Well, there's only one of those, so you know.
Yeah, right. So I think that this is just the more fun way to crowd control, basically.
Right.
To put a grenade down. The grenade itself is a token that it can matter that it impedes movement.
Right.
Fully, that you can't even move through it.
Right.
But then that it puts enemies in a position where where they have to consider changing their plans pretty dramatically, because you've just created like a three wide circle, basically, right, that they can't end in,
right,
or discard a card. And honestly, either of those outcomes is very satisfying.
Yeah, it's interesting too because this card's fairly fast. It's 11 initiative, so if you're playing it and it is going first, then players can react. But it's also possible that someone's playing a really fast gold, and they see that you're playing the Death Grenade. And now that's an even worse choice for them, because it's like I can either make this attack and know that you're going to play the Death Grenade next to me, or I can not make this attack and move out of the way if I'm even able to. If you're
far enough away to be able to, yeah.
And then you get to put it somewhere else to hurt someone else.
Or after all that, you used it for the boots.
Right, yeah. Exactly. So it's pretty brutal against gold cards and really fast cards.
Yeah, I think the design is clear that this is meant to put your opponents into a situation where they have to play around it, but it would be a flat out better card if it was lower initiative.
I agree.
Right? Like if this is your green card and it was 4 initiative, it would be extremely strong.
Right. That's why Min and Emmett are, good teammates.
Sure. Yeah. Yes. Pair the Path Grenade cards with reversing the initiative order. That's the Emmett effect you're referring to, right?
Definitely.
Well, if you keep going down that line, you get the Holy Death Grenade. It's very similar, but it is yellower and has a cross on the top.
That's right.
And it's a skill that has the card has the same stats but one more defense, and then says place grenade token into a space in radius, and at the end of your turn up to 2 enemy heroes adjacent to that token discard a card or are defeated. Remove the grenade token. It's also a pretty niche upgrade. I actually kind of think this is almost always going to be your level 7 upgrade, kind of the last card that you take to level 3. Really, whichever
blue you go for.
Yeah. Just because it is such a slight difference. But I have seen this matter. Or rather...
You've seen someone like move to avoid this or something?
I've seen it matter that on my tier 2 card, my Death Grenade, two units or 2 enemy heroes were adjacent to it and they realized they could both stand next to it and only one would discard anyway. I've seen that matter.
Okay.
I don't think that I've like hit 2 with the Holy Death Grenade because they're probably not going to let that happen. But... definitely there are avenues for your opponents to play around the tier 2 card that are kind of shut off by that.
Sure.
And it definitely, for obvious reasons, I think matters more at higher player counts. Right? Like, it's unlikely that the entire enemy team is going to be adjacent to your Holy Death Grenade.
Sure, that makes sense.
In a 2v2 game.
Right.
So I think that the grenades are by far the more fun, even though in theory I think the mines are super fun. In practice, they are less fun. I think the mines are maybe quite a bit more often the more powerful thing to do.
I
the reason we
usually
discussed.
Mines,
Yep. I hate it. It's the thing that annoys me about Min, but I don't always. If I'm not in a pinch where I clearly need one of these, I sometimes make decisions in the Cards of Atlantis based on what's the more fun card.
Sure,
like,
that makes
I
sense.
think that's fine.
Yeah.
Because who knows who's going to win? It's usually down to the wire anyway. Like, it's anyone's game until the end, and you're probably not going to throw by taking a fun but valid card.
Interesting.
Probably.
I would say because it's so close at the end, any small decision that's not optimal is like more likely to cost you the game than if it if it worked close.
But as long as it happens 3 rounds before the end of the game, you can't tell that it cost you.
Sure. It's not an obvious connection.
And you had fun.
And you had fun. There you go.
Is that why we're all here?
Absolutely. All right. So the green straight line upgrades here are Vanish and Ruse. So these are, remember, the straight line is swap with your smoke bomb in order to defend
on a defense card. Yeah.
Right. So these ones have 2 and 1 initiative respectively, and then 3 boots each. And they are defense ranged upgrade or defense ranged cards with 4 range. The level 2 says swap with the smoke bomb token in range if you do block the attack. That's the exact same text on
it is.
1.
The difference is the +1 range.
+1 range.
Which offers quite a bit more flexibility as far as the round plays out, staying within range of your smoke bomb.
Right. Especially because smoke bomb itself uses a radius, so if you have your radius upgraded but not your range,
then this matters a lot.
This matters a lot.
But also, if you're just moving around and if you place your smoke bomb and then want to use boots to reposition, it widens the places you can go and still be within range.
Right, and then the level 3 upgrade says swap with the smoke bomb token in range. If you do block the attack, you may then place the smoke bomb into a space in range. Yeah. So you swap with it, but then you pick it up and put it anywhere in range of you. So much like the level 3 red, you can continue to put it where you want it to be.
Yeah. So by going with that route and the Zag reds that interact with the smoke bomb, you do a lot of smoke bomb plays. You can smoke build is a lot of fun.
Right. And I will say, my favorite version of Min is the one that emphasizes the smoke bomb. I think that's his strongest token. It's my favorite of his tokens. It's the most fun, in my opinion, even more so than the grenade. So that's what I usually go for. And
it's nice playing a build that really makes you want to use his silver card a lot to great effect, because that frees up your better boot, better defense cards for their own purposes. Whereas a lot of heroes 50% or more of the time, an outsized amount of the time, that's going to be the one card you don't play because their silver card is so niche.
Right.
And I think that his silver card becomes niche like that if you upgrade out of these other smoke bomb interactions.
Right.
It becomes a pretty minor effect. But I really enjoy building that way. And you would get attack and then ranged upgrades if you went that way too. So speaking of upgrading, we were talking about upgrading his radius. His range is important though because his gold is ranged.
Right.
So upgrading his...
it's on these defense cards as well.
True. Yeah. So that I feel like the upgrade from 4 to 5, if you're in the battle... 4 is enough if you're in the battle zone with your smoke bomb, you're pretty much good.
Yeah, you're right.
But I do think that the range upgrading your basic attack is a pretty big deal, especially when then it swaps with your smoke bomb or pushes someone. Like there's a lot of hijinks you can get up to when that card is ranged.
Totally.
But if you don't feel defensive, you can go with Inner Strength. This is a card that I've never used to great effect, but I am dying to.
Okay.
Because there's nothing else like it that I've seen. It is 2 initiative, 2 defense, 3 boots, and it's a skill that says this round double your item bonuses. It's the only card I've seen that really kind of manipulates the items, those stat bonuses. And then his tier 3, Perfect Self or Perfect Self? Do you think this is an adjective or a verb?
I think it's an adjective.
I think it's Perfect Self.
I do.
Okay. Anyway, Perfect Self is a skill that lets you, has 1 initiative now, and lets you choose one or both this round to double your item bonuses, or take a tier 2 card from your deck and add it to your dashboard as a permanent item. This gives you additional items and doubles them.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's just so slow.
I've never built into it, or the times that I have, I've ended up using it for its boots for the rest of the game and like never actually doing it. And then items are obviously strong, but when it comes to like spending a whole turn to get, you have say 4 or 5 items, so spending a whole turn to get +1 initiative, +2 defense, +1 attack or something for the rest of the round, like the odds of that mattering are not that high.
That said, we've just been talking about those moments when you're right on the edge.
It's true.
And I think as we get to be better players, that card will become better. Like we'll find more use cases for it. But yeah, it's not something I've seen played to any real effect yet.
So you're saying that when we perfect ourselves, Perfect Self will be better.
That's right. Very good. And I do think that if it was, I think it would say perfect yourself instead of perfect self. Perfect self sounds weird.
I don't agree.
Okay.
But
well, I don't know. That's just my read of it.
I feel like Perfect Self sounds like a monk creed kind of thing.
Sure.
But I agree. It's probably Perfect Self, especially because Inner Strength, the card before it, is also an adjective noun. But yeah, that leaves just his ultimate,
That's
which
right.
I've played Min a decent amount, and I don't think I've gotten his ultimate.
It looks cool. It's called Flurry of Blows. Each time after you perform an attack action, you may repeat it once on a different target. And that's interesting because you can also move in between.
All of his attack actions involve movement when you consider the gold following the red and copying its effect.
So you attack, you get some movement to position yourself well, you get another attack.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, and I think that this is more exciting if you go with the stance, the red cards that, again, use his Smoke Bomb. Because you're just more likely to get an extra attack on a minion that was next to your Smoke Bomb or something, rather than, I guess if you are moving adjacent, because remember the movement from his initial red cards and their upgrades have to be adjacent to the target that you attacked. So you can't use it on a minion and then move. But I guess Flurry of Blows, if that hero, say if you're using it with your red and you attack a hero, you get to move 2 spaces kind of orbiting that hero, staying adjacent to it, or moving in if you attacked at range. And that could set you up to attack... Oh, wait. It does have to be a different target. Okay. So it sets you up to attack a minion or another hero sometimes.
Yeah.
I still think it's more fun with the Smoke Bomb.
Yeah, and it does seem like the Smoke Bomb is geared more towards minions. So, this would let you kill a bunch of minions probably pretty quickly.
Agreed.
Yeah, the hero thing, like if someone's in your way... Or sorry, if like you have Flurry of Blows and you're attacking a hero, I guess the upside is they might just choose to die rather than let you get an attack on another hero or a minion or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, not that we'll ever see this card.
Right, it's an ultimate. So this is all purely hypothetical.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, Min's really fun. I think the Smoke Bomb antics are what defines him for me, and the other stuff is a little bit not as good as I want it to be, a little sad sometimes, but the Smoke Bomb is so fun. I just love it, so it's great. Yeah,
I really enjoy all of his explosives with that caveat that I wish the mines were designed a little differently.
Sure.
But, for the third printing, when all the cards are replaced again.
Right.
That's my request.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it's really thematic. Like, there's a lot tying this character together. He has these explosives. Like, that feels really good. Because they're disparate mechanics, but they all fit together well.
Yeah, it's a great example of a character that feels like greater than the sum of his parts.
Yeah, totally.
Cool. Well, that was Min the Dragonmonk. I think conclusively the best character. So you heard it here first.
There you go.
I'm curious. I assume that people somewhere, whether it's a Discord, like there's a character tier list out there.
There must be. And,
People made them. Whether people
sure
have whether there is a community that has a consensus on one, who knows?
Yeah.
I'd be both curious to see one, and also wouldn't really want that to like
impact your choices.
Taint my own exploration of the game.
Yeah. I'm not ready to look at one yet because I haven't even played the 4s. Like we haven't played. Some of the 3s we've seen once or twice. It's too early. But after we've played everything, I'd be curious to see. And I'm sure there is one. There is a Guards of Atlantis Discord.
Sure.
Which, I'm not sure if you're in, but you can set up TTS games. That's another good point. If you want to play this game but you're not able to with local friends, you can find games online.
Yeah, that's true. Go to the Discord that there will not be a link to in the comments because I'm not in it. But I'm sure you can type it into the internet and find it.
Probably.
I don't. So far, I don't actually even have much of like a hierarchy of power levels in my mind. I think that some there's no way that the characters are all balanced. Like that's impossible for 32 characters to all be. Obviously, they have counters and stuff, so that's part of it too.
Yeah.
But even that, given that, it's literally an impossible task.
Maybe, but I think it's closer than you think. Probably.
Maybe. But yeah, like I said, I choose mainly especially lately since we've started kind of drafting, dealing out summon drafting. I choose with team composition in mind and like my personal preference, whether it's to play a hero that I know I love like Min, or sometimes I'm in the mood to play a hero I haven't played before.
Sure. And
there's still plenty of those because there are I feel like I've played Guards of Atlantis a lot, but I don't think I've played it 32 times yet. So
no. I actually checked my stats. I've played 13 games of it this year, since this expansion came.
That's pretty good.
Which is pretty good.
That's 13 games in 8 weeks or something?
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty wild, right?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm playing again tomorrow, and I can't wait.
It never gets old.
It never gets old. I will say that, I totally agree that characters feel well suited to you or not based on how much you enjoy them and their mechanics, which isn't really a comment on strength. But for instance, Ursifar, I found difficult to play, but I played in a game with him last week where a relatively new player used him to incredible effect, was probably the MVP of that game. I was like, I need to give this character another try because it didn't jive with me initially, but it's worth investigating more. So even characters you don't like, they I want to play them again.
Yeah. I played with them pretty recently at the kind of private convention we were talking about last time, where we played a 5v5 game. So if you missed our Bane video, we talked more about our experience playing 10-player guards. But in another game that we played there, I played Ursifar. And I think it was my first time playing his kind of redesigned / reprinted version, which felt a little different, but he felt good to me. Yeah, I really, really liked him.
Yeah, I need to give him another try. He seems cool.
It's odd. It does a really good job of capturing the kind of slow lumbering beast in the fact that you kind of have to throw away a turn to enrage him, and then the rest of his cards are so really strong.
The swapping ability, moving. Well, we'll talk about it later, but it's really strong.
Look for our Ursifar video coming soon to Optimal Play. And while you're looking, subscribe to the channel, like the video if you haven't. We'd really appreciate that. While you're on the internet, Jordan is a regular host of the Game Brain podcast, so you can check that out as well to get more of Jordan's thoughts on Guards of Atlantis, on your 10-player Guards of Atlantis experience recently. Right. It'll be less recent by the time this video is posted, but still, that podcast episodes are seldom go away.
Right. You can still find it. That slight discussion is in the Galactic Cruise episode if you're looking for it.
There you go. And then you can learn about a seemingly cool new midweight hero while you're there. Yeah. Did you like Galactic Cruise?
I like Galactic Cruise. It was kind of funny because we liked it. We're in this discussion, and then at the end of it, we're like, shouldn't we just play Kanban? And I was like, maybe. I don't know. Anyway,
fair enough.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's novel.
Well, let us know in the comments what you think of Galactic Cruise.
Sure.
And we'll be back soon with both more gameplay videos and more hero. What are the? Are we
hero reviews? Hero overviews.
hero discussions.
Hero discussions.
More of those. I can't even remember what I'm titling these videos in this moment. I'm in the fugue state of 2 hours of recording these and drinking beer.
Yeah, to be honest,
But-
I've never watched one of these.
Rude.
Or like
That's good. I've never watched one either.
Yeah.
Why would I?
These we just say things into the camera and off into the void they go. Like, you know.
It is funny how often someone comments on a specific moment on a video, and I'm like, I have no memory of that happening.
Right. Oh, that's so funny.
The like content creator blackout is real.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe it's been a few months since we've played Min, and I'll come and revisit this and see, before getting a Min game in. Who knows?
There you go. All right. Well, as I was trying to say 2 minutes ago, we'll be back soon with more videos. And until then, be optimal.